Welcome. My name is Carmen, and I am the training coordinator at the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple SBDC helps small businesses start and grow. We provide free one-on-one counseling and a variety of low to no cost webinars, and we are proud to be a part of the nationally accredited network of SBDCs with over 1,000 centers across the United States. You've joined us this evening for Canva Basics for Small Business Owners. A copy of tonight's PowerPoint and a link to the recording of this webinar will be sent out to all attendees. And while all attendees have been muted, we encourage you to post any questions in the chat or Q&A, which will be monitored throughout the session. And with that, I will turn the floor over to Rachel.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to have you all here for Canva Basics for Small Business. I appreciate you taking a little bit of your evening to hang out with us. I know we've got a Phillies game, so I promise it won't go that late. I wanted to quickly just tell you a little bit about the Small Business Development Center. We're hosted by the Fox School of Business at Temple University, and we've been serving small businesses of Philadelphia, Eastern Montgomery, and Lower Bucks County since 1983. We aim to be a place where all members of our small business community can grow, develop, and thrive. We prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion to ensure that everyone is part of a positive and respectful environment. We offer some truly wonderful services here at the SBDC. So if this is your first time interacting with us, I want to take just a brief moment to give you a breakdown of some of the services that we do offer. We offer one-on-one consulting, where you're paired with a small business specialist who will act as your advisor, your coach, your mentor. And what's special about the SBDC's consulting is that's not one-off consulting where you sort of meet once and then, go over a problem and that's it. Your consultant stays your consultant for as long as you choose to work with the SBDC. So they check in with you regularly and you're really able to develop a relationship with that consultant. Consultants can help you with a host of small business considerations. Think business planning, marketing, research, financial management, procurement. It really runs the gauntlet. Aside from consulting, we also offer tons of training programs and webinars like the one that you're attending today. We offer training on everything from choosing different types of legal formations, social media, cybersecurity, and even website creation. We also offer clinics and long form courses and a branding clinic, which is pretty relevant for tonight, which can help you with creative services. A little bit about me, like Carmen mentioned, I'm Rachel. I am the marketing and communication specialist here at the Temple Small Business Development Center. I have a bachelor's degree in advertising and a master's in business administration from Temple University. I am a Canva fanatic. I use Canva every single day in my job here at the SBDC, and I also use it a lot in my personal life. I'm getting married, so I've been using it to mock up invitations. So it really is great for a wide range of uses, both business and personal. I've lived in Philly for over a decade, and I really love the unique small businesses all over the city. I am constantly exploring. I'm loving seeing all of you talk a little bit about your businesses in the chat because I love to see what everyone is up to. So I'm going to jump right into the agenda. We've got a packed session. We've got a lot to cover, and so I want to make sure that we're able to get to it all. So what are we going to be tackling today? First, we're going to talk about Canva, what it is, what it does, and how you can use it. We're going to compare the free version and the paid version. We'll talk to you about what you can make in Canva, but then also what I recommend you avoid making. I'll walk you through creating an account. We'll talk about the different templates available, and then we'll open up Canva and play around in the platform so that you can see how it works in real time. I'll also talk about some great options for free images if the one in Canva just aren't cutting it for you, go over some tips and tricks, and then finally we'll get into how you can use Canva for videos and GIFs. And like Carmen mentioned, as you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A, and I'll be answering them as I go throughout. All right, so why you're here. What is Canva? It's a free to use online graphic design tool. You're going to hear me stress the free part quite a lot tonight, and that's because they have a paid version and they push it quite a bit. But if you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to. What makes Canva different from other graphic design tools is really how easy it is to use, how accessible it is. It's got an intuitive drag and drop functionality that makes it a lot easier to pick up than other graphic design tools that you might even need a design degree to use. I use Canva for almost all of our SBDC graphics, and I am by no means an incredible graphic designer. So it really is just easy to pick up. It's easy to use. It also has hundreds of thousands of templates that you can choose from, so you don't have to build a design from scratch. Sometimes it can be challenging to look at that just like blank screen and be like, oh, what do I do? So you can start with a template and then really make it your own. There's definitely times where that's going to be the case, but with the templates, they really are great, and you can sort of just, pick and choose what looks right for you. Like I mentioned, Canva is free, but they do have a paid version. Here at the SBDC, we use Canva Pro, but before I worked here, I had used the free version for a long time. The free version of Canva really is great. It is an absolutely dependable tool for small business owners that are on a tight budget. With that being said, there are some amazing features in Canva Pro that you just don't have access to in the free version. There's magic resize, which allows you to resize graphics to a new size instantly, or background remover, where, say, I have a picture of me, it could remove all the background and just keep my face. So some of those more, niche features are only going to be accessible in the pro version. You'll also see, we'll go into their AI suite. A lot of those are also only accessible with Pro. Pro also allows you to create brand kits. This is a kit that lets you save your color palette, your fonts, and your logos so that you can ensure cohesive branding in all of your graphics. If you have the extra cash and think that you would benefit from Canva Pro, you can upgrade for $12.99 a month or $120 for the year. It's also easy to switch your account from the unpaid version to the paid version. So you can always test out the free version, see how you like it, and then if you're really loving it and want to take advantage of all of the offerings that they have, you can upgrade to Pro. So a little bit of a deeper dive into the differences between Canva and Canva Pro. The biggest benefit I think that you'll see between the Pro and the unpaid version is free stock photos. You go from about 200,000 stock photos to 71 million. So it's a really big jump in having access to high quality stock photos. Canva also, they know their audience. So a lot of the images that are kind of businessy, you're only going to be able to find in Pro. They know what you're trying to look at. However, if you find a photo that you absolutely love, you can purchase it for like $1. So you're not totally boxed into using free photos, but if you have the Pro version, then you can use whichever. Then you can use all of the different photos they have. You also get a lot more storage with Pro, more fonts, more animation effects, plus unlimited folders, which is nice because it can get a little bit messy in Canva with all of your files in one place. Really, with Pro, you just get more of everything. And like I said, it's easy to switch from the unpaid to the paid version, so you can always upgrade if the free version just is not cutting it with you.
Sorry to interrupt super briefly here, Rachel. I see that we have a hand raised in the chat. Everyone is, just for like organizational reasons, muted and has their video off. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will relay them over to Rachel.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. I definitely am here to answer questions, but with how many people we have, it's just easier to have all your questions in the chat or the Q&A. So I'm going to talk about Canva versus some of their competitors. Obviously, there are other graphic design tools out there, You probably have heard of the Adobe Creative Suite. Think Photoshop, Illustrator. Those are some of the more popular ones. I absolutely love Canva, and it is my go-to for creating most of the things that I'm making on the day-to-day, flyers, social media graphics, a lot of other stuff. But the Creative Suite definitely has its place. Canva does not have the capability for professional photo editing. It lets you add filters, like if you were to edit a picture on Instagram, but it's not going to work for serious photo editing. So, for example, if you hired a wedding photographer, they were never going to use Canva for photo editing. It just doesn't have the necessary tools to get the job done well. That's a job for Photoshop. Or if you're looking for someone to create a logo design, if they are good at their job, they are going to choose Illustrator over Canva. And I'll tell you a little bit more about why I think that they should in just a moment. But before I get into that, I want to talk about what you can create in Canva. And like I said, at the SBDC, we use Canva for almost all of our graphic design needs. When I bring you into Canva, you'll be able to actually see what's going on, get a little peek behind the glass, as it were. But this, you can see a little bit of what we've created. We have double-sided flyers. We have an organization chart, our event graphics, social media posts, business cards, Instagram stories. We really are able to do a lot in Canva. And what's really special about Canva is that it has all of these sizes built in. So say you want to make an Instagram post for an upcoming sale that you have, you don't have to go searching the internet for the correct dimensions for an Instagram post. You can just start to type in Instagram and Canva will populate the correct size for you automatically. So it takes a lot of that guesswork out. But like I said, I use Canva for almost everything, but my big one that I say no to is logos. Normal graphics are made with pixels, but a vector image is made with points, lines, curves. I'm not going to go into the whole computer generation behind it, but what it means is that no matter the size, how far zoomed in it is, how far zoomed out it is, the lines, curves, and points remain smooth. So you'll never have any of those jagged lines or blurriness. With PNGs or JPEGs, you will see if you really, really size it up, it'll start to get blurry. And that's because you can see all those individual pixels. And for your logo, you should absolutely have a vector image, which Canva does not allow in its free version. In its pro version, you can download a file as an SVG, which is a scalable vector graphic. These are web friendly, but they're not super great for printed assets like flyers or business cards. And for most images, most images you'll download in Canva are gonna be PNGs or JPEGs, and since those are made with pixels, if you scale them up too much, they'll start to get blurry. You can see an example here. This is our PadTep logo, and you can tell one is starting to lose its quality. It's getting a little jagged on the edges, and the other is still very sharp. Okay, so now I'm going to move into creating a Canva account. It is actually super simple to create an account. You can do it in less than 5 minutes. You're just going to open your preferred internet browser and then go to canva.com. Once you're there, you're going to click on that sign up button or the sign up for free button. There's one in the corner and there's one in the center. See it right there. Once you click on that, a dialog box is going to pop up and prompt you to sign in with Google, Facebook, or your email. So you can just choose your preferred sign-in method and then complete the sign-up process, and then you get immediate access to Canva and all of its design features. If you hit continue another way, you will get the option to create something with an Apple ID or a Microsoft account. So you've got a lot of options with creating the account. When you're in Canva, you're going to find different templates. That's like one of the main reasons that people love Canva so much, is all of these pre-designed, amazing templates that you can use. They have templates for almost everything. You can search for specific items in the search bar at the top. So if you already know what you want, you can just type it in. If you're going in and you're like, I absolutely know that I need to create a Facebook post, you can start to type in Facebook and it's going to pull it up for you. But if you are just looking to get inspired, Canva is also a great place to do that. Looking at their templates, you can really just bop around and see what is new, what is trending. They have everything from social media, cover photos, infographics, email headers, labels, different graphs. You could really spend all day searching through their templates, and I most certainly have spent more time than I think I would like to admit just browsing through templates and getting inspired. I also want to talk about Canva Magic. They call it magic, but you would know it as artificial intelligence. Canva has, in the last year or two, introduced a suite of AI powered tools, including a writing tool, a presentation tool, and different design tools. You can use them to speed up your design process, and they're great to help inspire you as well. But it is important to note that some of these tools are still in that beta phase and that testing phase. So while they can be super helpful, I would not rely on them wholeheartedly. You want to make sure that you're still double checking, that you're making sure that things are looking right, that things are sounding right before you just set it and forget it. So I am going to open up Canva and show you what it looks like, how it works. But before I do, does anyone have any questions?
We are looking pretty good in the chat right now.
Amazing. All right. Well, if you have any questions, you might start to have them now when I pull you into Canva. So give me one moment and I am going to open Canva and let you guys see what's going on. All right. So this is Canva. This is our Canva, the SBDC team's Canva. When you sign in, this is what it'll look like. It will have some recommended items, some documents, whiteboard, different templates that you might be interested in. It also is going to show you some of their newer features at the top here. And then it'll show you your most recent designs. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty easy to navigate once you get the hang of it. A lot of times I like to start with create a design. So that's in that right-hand corner right here. It's this big purple button. You can click create a design and it'll give you suggested templates that you might want to try. But you can also just start to type it in. So if you start to type in Facebook, it'll give you a Facebook ad and the sizes of that. It'll give you the Facebook cover event and it'll give you the exact size. And it does that for lots of things. So you can start to type in LinkedIn and it will give you, oh, this is the size for an article cover and this is the size for a profile picture. And it does that with a lot of different stuff. Really, I have very rarely typed something in and not had something start to pop up. Even this, if you want to create your own label and it gives you different size labels. You can also check out what's going on in the design spotlight. So you can see what they're going on. I like to use the marketing section a lot. I find that small business owners like to use that area a lot. So you can just go to flyers and start to see the different options. These are some of those different templates that we have, and they have so many that you could never run out of templates. You can also, the search bar will always stay up there, so you can continue to search. You can also search not by a specific item. You can search by sort of like a theme. So say you want to do something for Halloween, you can start to type in Halloween, hit search, and it will bring up Halloween themed templates for you. So you can see, oh, we've got these flyer size. This is more of a billboard web ad, and it tells you actually what it is, what the sizing of it is. So you see this, you have a little invitation, Halloween parties, but you can also start to like look a little bit more. There you get a little bit further in, Halloween sales and things of that nature. So I'm going to click on a template and sort of walk you through different elements and how they work. Do we have any questions before I get started?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so firstly, someone is wondering, you said that Canva isn't the best for logos. They were wondering what you suggest using for logos.
So I suggest using Illustrator. That is my preferred graphic design tool. That's definitely more of a learning curve. If you don't have a solid graphic design background, it's definitely something that takes a little bit of time to pick up, but it's, in my opinion, far superior and allows you to have complete control over what your logo looks like, which, you know, your logo is one of the most important parts of your brand. And so you want to make sure that you have complete control over your logo. If you see, I have this up here, like this circle here, there are things you can do with it. You can kind of move it, but if I wanted to say like pull the edge in here, I can't make like a different swirl. Like it's kind of one shape that you're stuck using. But with Illustrator, this whole sort of circle would be just tiny little dots, and you could move every single dot. So it just gives you way more flexibility and just the ability to do exactly what you're looking for. If you're not interested in learning, or you just feel like, you know, can be big to try and learn Illustrator from scratch. There are some fabulous people on places like Upwork that do logo design for relatively low cost.
Cool.
And we also at the SBDC have a branding clinic that we can help you with creating logos if you're interested.
Barbara suggested in the chat, this kind of goes along with what you were just saying, that Affinity offers a much more affordable design suite as an alternative to Adobe Creative Suite without a monthly subscription. So people could try that out. And we have 4 more questions that I'm going to feed you, Rachel.
Yes, please go ahead.
First, can you schedule social media posts with Magic Studio, and does that cost something additional?
So are you if you're talking about like the AI suite is what I think you're talking about?
I believe so.
So you can actually schedule posts directly from Canva. It's a pro feature, so you have to have a paid account to do it. I don't recommend it. It's just not my preferred way to schedule all of your social out. I like to be able to have a separate scheduling tool where I can write everything I want, have it completely all set up, and I can look at it all at one place. So I like to create my social graphics in Canva and then take them out of Canva and upload them into, I use Hootsuite is the scheduling tool that we use. But there's a lot of good ones. Hootsuite is just the one that's coming to mind, but Sprout Social is another one. There's a lot of social scheduling tools. Buffer, I believe, is a good one that has a free version. And I just find that to be a much easier way to schedule my social. Yeah, I see Suri, I think is how you say it. You said Hootsuite. Yes, I think there's an E. It's HOOTESUITE. But yeah, it's Hootsuite.
Thank you. Okay, next question, kind of broader. Do we have classes on how to make social media ads once we have all of our Canva items made?
So we do have some classes, nothing that's currently scheduled, but it's definitely on the books for the new year. But we do have also on our YouTube page, and if you could if Carmen, if you could find our YouTube page and just throw that link in the chat, that would be great. That also has a lot of our previous webinars, and I know that we've definitely done some webinars on social advertising.
Sorry, I will post that link in one moment. Next question, would Canva allow me to print yard sale sized signs or posters?
Yes, you can print posters. You can print directly with Canva. So if you see here, this share this design, when you're done your design, which we haven't actually done yet. So I'm excited to show you guys. It'll be fun. I love that you guys have so many questions right off the bat. When you're done, we've completely designed this, we're ready to go. We want to print it out. When you go to share, there's a couple ways you can go. You can download. And so this would be you choosing to download it as a PNG, as a JPEG, a PDF. It's really up to you what you decide to download it as. But you can also use print with Canva, and they have a bunch of different options. So they have posters that are larger size. You could print on a tote bag, on an envelope. My partner went to a bachelor party and I helped him design something for t-shirts. So they really have a ton of different stuff. So you can print directly through Canva. I've done it myself and actually have been pretty happy with the results. So if you're interested in printing through Canva, you absolutely can. You can also export your design. Like I said, you can download it as a PNG or JPEG and then use the design to get printed somewhere else. So say you want to print stuff through FedEx, you can export the design as an image or as a PDF and then use it in a different area, on a different place to print for a different vendor. You can use it on FedEx or Staples.
Okay, 2 more questions. Does Canva allow you to import logos?
Yes, so I'll actually show you how to do that in a second.
Okay, and last one, do you suggest paying for these services as a business instead of using all of the free versions, Canva, Hootsuite, etc.?
So it really depends on your individual business. I mentioned earlier that we have consulting services. This might be a good question to bring to a consultant because it's a larger conversation about your marketing. How much do you have to spend on marketing? Where should you be spending your marketing? Maybe you can get away, maybe your brand is simple and your designs are minimal and you don't end up needing the paid version of Canva, but it makes a lot more sense to take those marketing dollars and put those simple designs that you've created for free on Canva and promote them via paid advertising on social. Or maybe your organic social performs really well. So that's the social media that you're not paying for, that you're just putting up, but your designs are a lot more intricate and you're looking to do more with your design. And then maybe it makes more sense to spend a little bit on Canva and less on ads. So that's really a larger question about what does your marketing strategy look like? Because Canva is amazing. It's a wonderful tool. Obviously, I love it. I can't stop talking about it. But it is just one piece of your marketing strategy. It's an important piece. It can be a really important piece if you're using it to create flyers and you're using it to create social assets and you're using it to create banners. It's an important piece, but it's not the only piece. And so having a well-formed marketing strategy is key when making those kinds of decisions. All right. So I think we're out of questions. I think keep them coming. As you have questions, please keep them coming. Happy to answer them. We've got some time, but I'm going to start to show you what it looks like. So we've pulled up a design. This is a template. We've done nothing to it. This is Canva has a design. They have tons. It's got, it's got sort of this really great site, made up language. You can't use this. This isn't right for you yet. So now what you're going to do is you want to take it and make it your own. So maybe it's not a Halloween sale. Maybe it is We're going to move that. See, like I said, drag and drop. You can move all of these elements are individual. They all get pieced together. So everything can be moved. It can be resized. And then if you look up here, this is font options. So you can change your fonts, change the colors, bold it, make it italic, underline it. It even has effects here. If you see effects, you can change sort of the kind of vibe that it's going for. So you can give it a shadow, give it a lift, have nothing, do some of these funky ones. This one's like a neon. This one glitches out. So there's a lot of options here. But all that to say, everything is customizable and you can move it around. You can change colors. So let's say you want to make some changes. It's not a Halloween sale. It's actually going to be a Thanksgiving sale. You click on the object you want to change, and you can just type it in. Thanksgiving, a little bit too big. It's a little longer than Halloween. You can just make the font a little smaller. Looking great, wonderful. But now I'm looking at this and I definitely want to continue on my Thanksgiving sale graphic journey, but this is quite spooky. This is, I mean, it's called Jeepers. You can see that's the name of the font. So this is probably not the right font for a Thanksgiving sale. So I can go in and I can just sort of see all of the different fonts that are available. As you're scrolling through, you'll see these, anything with like this little crown, that indicates that it's a pro feature. What is important to note, and you'll see this a lot, Canva likes to sort of integrate their pro features into their free version. So it will let you, even if you have the free version, it will let you click all of the pro versions. It'll let you design something completely with all the pro features. When you go to export it, that's when you'll run into problems. So if you're really trying to stick to the free version, just be aware that you've got these pro options scattered within. And so just recognize that, oh, you know what? I can't use that one. I'm really trying to only use the free versions. But they've got a lot and they've got good stuff. So we've got this one. All right, I think I like that a little better. Make it a little smaller. I can also click here, make it a little smaller that way. Great. So now we're already better. We've got our special offer, Thanksgiving. I still want to keep the sale, but I'm going to move it up a little so that it overlaps. And you know what? I don't love this purple background. I think it's a little, it's a little too Halloween-y. So now, I'm going to choose orange, or maybe I'm going to type in a color. So this is just colors that already existed. I can try a different color. I can try red. I can get really specific and try burnt orange. And it will give me sort of these different options. So I love this. That feels way more Thanksgiving-y. Ooh, this even better. Very Thanksgiving-y. So now I'm looking at this. This is great. I want to be able to do something awesome. I want to do a great sale, but I am not down to give up 45% off. I'm looking at more like 15. So it's easy to make the change entirely, up to 15% off. Finally, this is nice, but this is very much Halloween. So I can delete all of it. And then if I look in elements, these are where different shapes, different graphics, photos, this is where you're going to find all of the different items that you'd want to put in. So you can search Thanksgiving and you can see, I think I want a Thanksgiving photo, or maybe I want a graphic. And the difference is, these look more like cartoons. These are smaller graphics. Your photos are, they're pictures. And like I said, you'll see, be aware, this pro version here, when you see a star, that means that you would have to pay for that. But this one I don't have to pay for. I can move it. I can make it smaller. I can make it take up the whole space. If I double click, I can see the entire image, even though that's not where I'm showing it. And I can sort of move it down. So now I make sure that I have that turkey right in center. All right, so there you go. And now you have this. You can also, this looks great, but maybe you want to add your logo. There's a couple ways you can do that. If you have a brand kit, which you would have if you have that pro version, then you can go over to this side here, over to the left-hand side. You have design, elements, text, you have brand. And this is where all of your brand colors would be. This is where all your logos would be. So we have our logos here. I can click on mine, resize it, and add it right to there. I'm seeing a couple questions in the chat, so let me get to those. Yes, so why would you use a template if you want to change everything? So you don't have to. You don't have to use a template. I'll show you next. This is a brand blank page, and maybe I have an idea of what I want to do. Maybe I just want to say Happy Thanksgiving. And I can do it all from scratch. I can start with a blank page and go completely from scratch without having to look at any design. But I sometimes like to start with a template, even if I decide to completely change it, because if you look, this was the original template. It's obviously very different, but there are some elements that are still the same. You can see where this came from, even if it's very different. We still have the special offer. We still have the sale. We're still keeping that shop now, but we decided that the spooky stuff wasn't the right fit for us. The background wasn't right. But instead of starting completely from a blank page where we have nothing and we don't know where to start, at least we have an idea. Maybe I wouldn't have thought that the sale going overlapping on that word would look nice, but seeing it in a template, I like that and I want to keep it, even if I don't end up with the same template. But on the other side, you have a template. You can definitely keep your template. If this is cute and you like this and this is keeping within your brand, the templates are great. There's no reason to change them if you don't want to, but for the purposes, one, of showing you guys where things are, how to use them, it's great to, build one out. But also, it's good to know that there's good templates, but that you can edit them so that they meet your kind of brand voice, your brand. I'm seeing another question. Can you crop images? Yes, you can. So with this is literally cropping by, this, you're pulling it in. You're making it bigger, you're making it smaller, that's cropping. But you can also crop other elements. So you can crop other elements that aren't just pictures. So say we wanted to add this little swirl of, obviously, don't judge me, it's not perfect, but say we want to add this here, but we don't need all of them. You just double click. So you have the image selected, you double click it, and you'll know that it's double clicked because the background will sort of gray out. And then you can also crop images there. So we can do that, crop that. And now we only have this, and we can also move it sideways, make it smaller. And so there really is options, and it's all very much intuitive drag and drop functionality. How does the Shop Now web get connected to your website? So this isn't actually a button. It's just a design. If it's on your social media, It's sort of, people will know, or if you put it on your website and then you make the image clickable, then the whole image will be clickable. But it's good to have these for when you're doing things like flyers that you're gonna have, if you're sending a flyer via an email, then you'll send it maybe as like a PDF. And with that, you can link it. So you could link it. When you export this as an image, obviously that's not going to stay linked because it's a picture. But if you were to export it as a PDF, then the link would stay. Yes. How do you know which type to save your work as? So it's really depends on what you're using it for. When I'm using social, when I'm doing things for social, PNG or JPEG, they both tend to work. I probably go for PNG a little bit more, just because with PNG, you can download it with a transparent background, but a PNG or JPEG usually works for social. If you're trying to like attach like a flyer that you want linked, then you might want to decide on a PDF. Is there a difference in functionality if you use Canva on your phone versus your computer or tablet? Yes and no. The big difference is you're going to be, my phone is small, so I'm going to have a much harder time moving smaller elements. I'm going to have to really get in there. It's definitely much easier to do it on your computer just because you have a much larger space to work with. But the basic functions are the same. It's just a lot smaller, and you can't necessarily like right click. There's a different way to do it on your phone. So I would recommend, if you're just starting out, I would try and do it on a larger screen just to make it a little easier for you. But I have most certainly on a pinch, on a way to a conference, put together something that looks really good on your mobile device. All right, and I'm getting one more question, and then I'm going to keep going, but please keep your questions. I know we've got time. Do you have to use Canva's brand kits, or can you use colors that you might like to put together? Yes, you can absolutely. So what brand kits are, and I'll actually show you guys our brand kit. Oh, there we go. So this is the TU SBDC brand kit, and you can get it over here, but also when you're working, like I said, you'll see it in this brand area and it'll have all of your information. But this is easier to show you. So all of this is items that we put together. So we put all of these logos, we uploaded them. We had a question about uploading logos. This is how you do it. You would hit add new and then upload, and it's just uploading an image. So you would just upload the image that you already have saved on your computer. So all of our logos are uploaded ourselves. The colors, these are colors that are part of our larger PASBDC brand. So these are colors that were assigned to us. This was not something that Canva came up with. We added them by writing in the hex code. So that's just like every color that you have when you're online has like a corresponding number. And so if you have colors in your brand already, then you just need to know the hex code or the CMYK numbers, and you can add them that way. But if you're looking for inspiration, then Canva does a good job of having different like color options available. Like I said, if you're like looking for burnt orange, they have these sort of like preset color options that, make it a little bit easier to, if you are brand new and don't have any colors, you can sort of like get a sense of, oh, these colors might work well together instead of just having to like totally guess. All right, perfect. I am going to, now I want to show you quickly. This is AI. Everyone is excited about the AI everywhere. Everyone's using it. Everyone's uploading it. This is Canva's AI. Canva calls it Magic. So this is their Magic Studio. So this is all of their AI powered tools. Like I said, some of these are Pro only, and you'll see they're denoted with that Pro crown, but a lot of them are not. I just want to show you a couple. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because these are really ones where like you will just play with them forever. But let's see, this is text to image, so you can click on that, try it out. And what you'll do here is it will have you describe the image you want, and they're going to totally generate it for you. So I want a snowy winter cottage. Sure. And I want it to be in the style of like a watercolor. So I can click that. Maybe you want it to be a photorealistic style, or you want it to be anime. I want it to be watercolor. And then you can also choose the aspect ratio. I'm fine with square. Then you're going to hit create your image. This takes a little bit of time because it's literally trying to like generate. It's doing all that stuff on the back end. So it can take a little bit of time. So we're going to let it load, and we're going to let it load. So, you know, give it some time. But now you're seeing they're starting to appear. And these are just designed through AI. So these are not individual elements. This is a picture that Canva's AI just came up with. And now I have this, and I like it a lot. I think it's really cute. If I don't like it, if it's not quite right, you can generate again, and it will give me a whole nother set of 4 images that I can look at and decide, you know what, this is a better option for me. I'm not going to make you sit here while it generates another 4. Although there you go. It was quick. See? And this one's kind of different, and it'll just keep doing that. So you can also, if this isn't quite right, maybe you're like, I didn't want a snowy winter cottage. I wanted a snowy Christmas cottage, and you wanted to have lights. Then you can edit your language and regenerate. So that's one of the options that we have with the AI suite. This magic grab is a great one. And so this is, and I'm just showing you the ones that like they're set up, but you can do it obviously with your own. So this is, say you want to use magic grab. These are all the different ones. You can go here. This will recognize the image that you're trying to grab and isolate from its background. And now it's a separate image, and you can move it, and it does it automatically. If you were having to use other graphic design tools or trying to like crop around this, that would be so challenging. So this way you just have it and you can move it around, and it's totally its own thing. You can also, let me grab you a graphic. Let's try a picture actually. You can also do things with different images. So say you want to keep this entire like image, but you want to get rid of this background. You can hit edit photo, background remover, and it instantly gets rid of the background. And now you have the image there yourself. Say you like the image, you like this like woven thing, but you actually wish that these pumpkins weren't pumpkins. You can click on that and click magic edit. Then what you'll do is you can change your brush size, and you're going to brush whatever you want to get changed. So I want to get rid of these, you know, pumpkins. Hit continue. And then I want to replace it with ornaments. And like with the other one, it takes a little bit of time, but it'll start to generate a different option for you besides for pumpkins. And like I said, this technology is still new. It's still, a lot of it's still in that beta. So some of it's going to look funky. Some of it might not work. Some of it is just going to struggle. But this is a cool option. This is taking forever, so I don't want to like have you sit here, but here we go. Okay, it happened fast enough. So now you can see it's totally changing. I still have that background, like the kind of like fabric-y background, but now I have ornaments instead, or I have this one if I want, or I have this one. I like this one. I think this looks great. And now I have this is completely edited, and now I'm done. And now that's a totally different image. This is better. And this is great for if you have graphics that you like a lot, but if you're doing things maybe for the holidays, like I've been doing, this is a great way to change things without having to completely reinvent the wheel. All right, before I hop out of Canva, do we have any more questions?
We look pretty good in the chat right now.
All right, perfect. All right, so I'm going to hop back into my presentation. All right. So if you're using the free version of Canva and the image selections are not cutting it for you, if you don't want to have to pay for the pro version, or if you don't want to have to pay individually for stock images, you can also find high quality images online that are at no cost. Pexels, Pixabay, and Unsplash are some of my favorite free stock photo sites. And yes, sir, you will get a copy of the deck, and you'll also get access to the recording when this is over. Just give us like a couple days to send it out. You might need to search for a few to find exactly what you're looking for. If you look at this, if you look at the picture that I have now, one of these cookies is a search for cookies on Unsplash, and the other is a search for cookies on Pixabay. And so clearly one of these sites thinks that cookies are only like a holiday thing. Like clearly they're all like kind of winter themed, and the other ones are like chocolate chip themed. So you might just have to be prepared to search a little bit more than you normally would, just because you know, you have to do a little bit of extra work if you're going to get it for free. Something to be aware of, Unsplash now does have a professional version, so that's a paid version, so there's a little bit of a fee there. And like we saw in Canva, they will also scatter their pro images throughout. So just be aware of that when you're using Unsplash. You don't want to fall in love with a picture and then be like, this was supposed to be free and it wasn't. And now I'm annoyed. And let me quickly I can quickly share it with you. This is what these look like. So this is Pixabay, and these are all high quality and low cost, or and no cost images that you're able to use. You usually will get they'll usually tell you who took the picture. If you're using it on like social media or something, it can be nice to give photo credits to the creator, but it's not required. You don't have to do it. But it's just something that is nice.
Rachel, we do have another question.
Yes.
Can you speak about why we should use stock folder instead of grabbing random images from online?
So absolutely. So when you're using random images from online, sometimes they're copyrighted. A lot of the time they're copyrighted. So if you're using a picture that's owned by someone else, that's illegal. For small businesses, you just don't want to get yourself in hot water by using content that doesn't belong to you and that is owned by someone else. So by using stock images, especially these high quality, low cost or free stock images, you can ensure that you are following the law and that you're not using content that is owned by someone else. All right, so you guys should all be able to see my PowerPoint again. Can you see my PowerPoint, Carmen?
Yes, you're all good.
Perfect. Along with some of your like basic keyboard shortcuts that you might already know, Canva has some keyboard shortcuts that are really great to help you speed along your process. Obviously, you're all small business owners or aspiring small business owners. You're busy. You've got a lot to do. You've got a lot going on. And so speeding up your design process is awesome if you can do it. So these are some of the must-know shortcuts. Obviously, you know some of the basic ones: Control C for copy, Control V for paste, but you can also use these like more like design specific ones, like adding text by pressing the letter T, or grouping different elements together by selecting Control or Command G. There's a bunch of different shortcuts. So when you get this, when you get the PowerPoint in an email, you can check out, there's a little link here that has there's so many, and you can check out a bunch of different shortcuts, and it just helps you speed up. Along with static images, which I showed you, you can also create short videos and graphics on Canva. Videos and GIFs do really well on different social media algorithms. So if you can make it, it is a great addition to your social strategy. It's also very easy to take a static design and make it a GIF. So I'll show you with the design that we already made. So we made this Thanksgiving design. This is a static image, but say we wanted to give it a little bit of spice or a little bit of movement, we can click on every individual element and animate them. So you go up to this pane right here and hit animate, and it has all of these different animations. So we can have it rise, we can have it pop, we can have it drift over from the side, we can have it kind of pull to the side, or we can have it tumble in. And we can do that with all of these different animations. So we can have this fade in, we can have this ascend, and you're just giving a little bit more movement, you're having a little bit more fun. It might do a little bit better on social media. When you add animation and you want to make sure that you keep that animation, just make sure that when you're exporting, when you hit download, you want to download it either as a video, if it has video in it, or as a GIF. So those are just like, a normal, you have all seen a GIF. And so that just makes sure that it keeps the animation. If you add animation in Canva and then download it as a PNG, you'll lose the animation. It'll still have like a nice, it'll still look like a nice image, but it won't move or anything. So that's just something to keep in mind when you are creating a GIF or creating a video in Canva, anything with movement, making sure that you're exporting it correctly. I see we have a question about making little Instagram icons. What are they called when you're creating a story in Instagram? I'm not totally sure I know what you're talking about, but if you're talking about, well, should spell it right. If you have Instagram, an Instagram reel, yeah. So if you can look up Instagram reel templates, and they'll be totally pre-done for you. So they have stuff like that as well. So what you can do, this is like a video, this is like the video editing panel, and I'll show you a quick video in a second that walks through using the video editing panel. But this way you can hear it has music, it has video. Obviously, I'm not sure what someone would be using this exact for. Maybe it's to sell that dress. But you can just pull up a reel and then you can see different designs. You can check out different templates. If you have a design open already, but you don't like it, then you can look in a design and look for, maybe you want to do a gift guide and you can find other reels and sort of add pieces to it and you can totally edit. Right. Perfect. Okay, so as for videos, Canva has a really great video on using Canva for videos. So I'm just gonna play that for you guys because it's really great and they're gonna do a great job of explaining it to you.
Canva Video packs powerful video tools in one easy-to-use platform for free. Let's discover how to get started with your next video project.
Rachel, we might want to turn up the volume a little bit here if there is volume.
Here, you can see
Yeah. Let me see if you guys.
all template types.
Is that better?
These videos are 16 by 9.
Maybe a little bit
As
more.
for video project.
I don't know if I can turn it up anymore. Let me try one thing. 1 second. All right, this should work better. Let me try it again.
Projects. Use the filters to view by theme or style. Let's create a blank standard video. Once inside the editor, you might notice things look a little different. The page viewer has been changed to work with video. We call this the story view. This black triangle and line is called the playhead. Click and drag it to move forward or rewind through your video. Start by choosing a template from the Templates tab. Zoom in and out by using the slider at the bottom. Lastly, press the play button or hit the spacebar to play a preview of your video. Time to customize our template. Discover an entire library of stock videos in the Elements tab. Search using keywords and filter by video. If you search for videos regularly, customize the object panel by adding a dedicated Videos tab, like this. Drag a video to a scene in the story view to replace an existing background video. Upload video from your computer or device by going to the Uploads tab. Or add video from your Facebook, Google Drive, or Instagram accounts here. Did you know you can record yourself directly within Canva to add to your design? Choose your camera and microphone, then hit Start Recording. The new recording is added directly to the scene and saved to the Uploads tab so you can find it later. Now you can start inspired with a template, add, upload, and edit your next video project.
Perfect. Sorry about the audio there, but I'm glad that I was able to make it work. You'd think after 3 years plus on Zoom that you would remember, but it still happens. So practice makes perfect, and Canva offers thousands of tutorials on how you can design like a pro. You can explore typography, look at different design trends and trends in color through design school. Obviously, I'm trying to give you a good overview, and I think that if you wanted to hop in, you're at a good place where you can get started and start to make stuff. But there is so much you can do in Canva that I could never show you everything in an hour, hour and a half. So if you're looking to make more complex designs or you're looking at more complicated topics, design school through Canva is a great option. They have multi-part tutorials that can walk you through super simple designs, but then also through that more complex stuff like videos or content management. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and I want to thank you in advance for completing our super brief survey that Carmen is going to pop in the chat in just a few moments. I have really appreciated your time. I know that this was booked for 7:30, so I'm happy to stay on and work through any specific questions. I'm happy to open up Canva again and work through any specific questions that anyone might have. So yeah, please, if you have any questions, feel free to add them. But if you feel like you've gotten a lot, I'm so happy that you came and that you joined us on this late evening. Get ready, eat some snacks, go watch the Phillies game. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. If you want to connect with us, you can find us, our emails there, our website. You can also scan that QR code and sign up for our newsletter so that you are always on top and learning about more presentations so that you don't miss anything cool. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Do we have any questions?
We're looking pretty good at the moment. I also dropped a link in the chat to our resource document. This has links to recordings of past webinars, registration for upcoming webinars, and also a bunch of funding opportunities. It is a super useful document, so I might just throw it in the chat in case anybody wanted to go look through there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. I did see a couple questions. Is it pretty straightforward to import graphics from Pixabay into Canva? Absolutely. So I can share my screen real quick. I'll get back to. All right. So say you want to upload say you found the perfect image in Pixabay. So say we're making something with a duck and you love this duck. You'll just hit download. You'll choose the quality you want. It'll end up in your downloads folder. And this is also the process for uploading your logo and any other, like if you have your own images, say you take your own product images, product pictures, then this is how you would upload all of that. So you're going to go over to this side here, over to the left side to uploads. You'll hit upload files. You'll search. It'll pull up your file explorer. You'll pull up your image. You'll hit open and it will upload that duck right there. So super simple, very easy to upload any images that you have, whether you're taking your own you're taking your own pictures, if you have products, or if you want to, you can see you're getting a look behind the scenes. These are some headshots of some of our team members. So obviously those aren't something I can find in Canva. But that's a good way to upload any of your logos or other images that you're finding on other sites. I'm seeing a question about from Letitia, I think is how you pronounce your name. If you want to add your SBDC logo on Instagram so you can search it. So I'm thinking what you mean. I want to make sure that I am correctly answering your question. Are you talking about like the profile picture on Instagram maybe? So that would be like the picture of your logo. That would be like part of your profile. With that, you can no, that's not what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I wish I knew it. I wish I knew how to answer your question. I'm so sorry. I see if you're creating a brand kit, you're having trouble with fonts. Get a message that your font file is not licensed. So are you trying to upload your own font? Like a font that you have from somewhere else? Huh. So I've not run into that problem before, because if you look at our fonts, these all of these Futura fonts are from our brand kit, so those were uploaded. So I've not run into that problem before. If you want to send me an email at Rachel SBDC, RACHEL SBDC @temple.edu, and I can try and take a look. Just send me what the actual font is that you're using. I haven't run into that issue before, so I'm not sure. All right. Any other questions? All right, when you're making content in IG and you press the square with the smiley face, how do you create an image that could live in there? Like your logo could live there. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, like a little stamp or whatever. I know what you're talking about. I actually don't know off the top of my head how to do that. But we will have coming up, we have something on Instagram specifically. So we have we have a webinar on Instagram coming up. So I would recommend that you go to that webinar, and they should have a better way to answer that, because I know how to design it, but I don't know exactly how to get it up there. But now I know what you're talking about. So if you want to email me, again, now I'm just giving, Rachel SBDC, I can try and find the answer for you. I'm sure I can find it. I just don't know it off the top of my head. Rochelle, you said, can you present in Canva like PowerPoint? Yeah, you can. I can show you. We have a PowerPoint really quickly. So this is our presentation. You saw this at the beginning. As long as you have it set to be a presentation, it'll have a present button at the top, and you can just present in full screen. You can do a presenter view. You can present and record. So you can present. Just make sure it won't have that option if you're not in a presentation template. So just make sure that if you're doing a presentation, that you're doing it in a presentation template. All right. It looks like there are no more questions. Thank you again so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciated. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. I really have such a fun time, and I really hope that you took something away from it, that you learned something. If you're interested in learning more, as you're playing, as you're getting to know more about Canva, if you run into issues, I'm happy to kind of troubleshoot with you. Feel free to reach out, and make sure to reach out to the SBDC to meet with a consultant and work on your larger marketing strategy, because Canva, like I said, a big piece, not the only piece. So making sure that you have a great plan in place is so important, and our consultants are absolutely there to help you with that. And with that, I am going to close it out. Thank you all. Thank you guys for hanging. Thank you for the rest of you guys hanging on. I really had a great time. Have a wonderful evening, and hopefully we'll see you at a future webinar. All right. Bye, everyone.